I broke my boyfriend's trust. And advice on how to gain it back or work it out. Too long did not read. I broke my boyfriend's trust by venting to a friend about an issues that we are having in regards to our sex life. Me, 25F, and my boyfriend, 28M, have been having issues in regards to our sex life. I'm fulfilling his need when he asks, but it's not being reciprocated. I have been trying to talk to him or bring it up to him for the last 3 days, but he hasn't done anything, and this morning I had enough and we had a fight about it. I got really drunk during the day and blacked out until about 11 p.m. At this time one of my friends that is male snapped me and I snapped back saying I wasn't having a good day. He asked me what was wrong and I told him vaguely about the issue we were having, but he started getting really flirty with me and I told him to stop because we are just friends. My boyfriend told me in the past that this friend has a crush on me, but my friends has never done or said anything otherwise until today, and he also lives in a completely other state. I have been friends with him for over a year now and it wasn't until now that he did this. He hasn't said anything or done anything to make me believe otherwise, so I gave him the benefit of the doubt. After having that conversation with my friend I felt weird about it, so I was honest with my boyfriend and told him what happened. He says that I broke his trust by telling this friend because of what my boyfriend said in the past. I understand that I shouldn't have vented to him, but I don't really have anyone to vent to, and he asked, so I just spilled what was wrong. My boyfriend says I broke his trust and I don't know what to do. He makes it seems like he's trying to end it with me because of this, but I didn't do anything else. I didn't cheat or flirt back at all. I just vented and had no intention of trying to get anything out of that conversation. I have never done anything in the past to break his trust either. Elva apologized and I've admitted that I was wrong and made a mistake and acknowledge his feelings, but I don't want us to break up over this. How can I gain his trust back and allow us to move on? Edit. I see all your comments. I know I messed up. The day drinking wasn't just about the fight. I'm extremely stressed out in life in general right now outside of my relationship, and it all just kinda built up on me yesterday and I shouldn't have blacked out. The blackout was honestly more of an accident because I was drinking wine, and wine never affects me in that way where I get super drunk, but I guess red wine does that to me. I don't drink red wine, so yesterday was a first for me. When talking about my needs not being fulfilled, I do mean oral. Lately we have had sex maybe once a week, but my boyfriend usually asks for oral at least 2-3 times a week and I don't get anything in return. This has been happening since September. Before September we had a very active sex life. It started because my boyfriend had a back issue, so he couldn't really perform because of the pain, but it's been gone for like a month now and it hasn't gotten back to normal. Also, we have been together for almost 2 years. I ended the friendship with the friend that I talked to because you all are right, he doesn't respect me or my relationship. Our friendship was completely platonic and we have been friends for over a year now. He didn't make any type of move or say anything to make me feel differently. He also was a close friend, so that's why I confided in him as a friend. I was very vague with him and I didn't belittle my boyfriend either. I just said that my needs aren't being fulfilled and we are struggling and I didn't know what to do. But regardless, I shouldn't have done it and I know that. Edit 2. Typos. Everyone's pointing out the friend issue and telling you why it's a problem, but I'm going to add, don't be getting so drunk over a fight that you're blacking out. If that's how you cope with stress, you're down a dangerous path. You need to consider better methods of handling your stress. It doesn't have to be an everyday thing to be too much. You're young and life has a lot of stress in it. Please work with someone on how to have a healthy outlet for stress. Well, I'd start with ditching the friend who clearly has no respect for your current relationship. My 26F boyfriend, 29M, spanked his daughter, 3F, in front of me. My boyfriend, Nate, and I have been together for 4.5 months, so it's still relatively new. Our relationship progressed pretty quick because of 2 things. We were both recently out of very terrible long-term relationships, so it was easy to lean on each other for support. And I accidentally met his daughter very early on. Nate's daughter is lovely. I adore her. She's autistic and a bit behind with language, so she acts younger than 3, but she's an absolute joy to be around. I knew before meeting her that he spanks her on rare occasion, and the only boundary I put down about my being around his kid is that I did not want him to spank her around me. He agreed to that and it hasn't been an issue until last night. She was cuddling up to me on and off after dinner and bit my arm a couple times. Once bad enough for me to verbally go, ouch, but not any sort of long-lasting pain or anything. I just moved my arm away the first time and got up after she did it a second time. Man shrugging, Nate told her in a stern but gentle way to not bite. A few minutes later he was cuddled up to me and his daughter was clambering over out little cuddle puddle, and she bit his arm too. Nate spanked her as an automatic reaction and it freaked me the fuck out. Like, no hesitation between the being bit and swatting his daughter. It was just one smack, but that's still more than I think any child should be hit, and it was really jarring that not only did it happen in front of me, but also when they were both snuggled up with me. I froze and got very quiet. His daughter ran around crying for a bit, and he gave me space for a while, about an hour, to calm down before we talked. 2 important points about my needing space after that. I was beaten pretty badly by my father on a regular basis as a child, and I am also autistic. When something upsets me very much, I go nonverbal, and feel like I physically can't talk until I've self-regulated into a calmer headspace. Nate knows all this and was very sweet and gentle about giving me space when he saw how I clammed up after the spanking. When we talked, I initiated it over text because even though we were in the same room, I was struggling to verbalize my feelings about it. I basically just reminded him that I had asked he not do this around me and that I wouldn't see him anymore if it happened again. That redirection and guidance should be the go-to for situations like that, and that his daughter isn't old enough or cognitively able yet to understand why she's being hit. After I got that out, we talked a bit verbally and he expressed that he knows. He used the word, knows. I'm right, but that he was also feeling defensive. I decided to head home and we hugged before I left. We haven't really talked since last night. He sent me a couple snaps today of his daughter looking cute and we talked about the snow a little. I'm waiting for him to initiate more conversation about it since I don't want to make him feel attacked. I don't know what to do or say beyond this. I really like him, I love his daughter, I don't want her to be hit. If he keeps spanking her, especially if it happens around me, I am going to leave, but I also don't want to leave his daughter without an adult around who will defend her when things like this happen. What do I do? Where do I go from here? Did I handle it okay? Pro-spanking comments will be very much ignored. Don't hit children. Edit. I am realizing now after this event, that my asking him to just not spank her around me was a sort of bullshit request. I don't want to be with someone who hits their kid, whether or not I am present for it happening. So I have that thought and feeling to figure out how to communicate when Nate and I talk next. Sounds like a deal breaker. I'll bet money the automatic response will happen again and it's just a differing opinion on what's acceptable or not. Doesn't sound like he's agreed that he won't spank, just the won't do it in front of you. Probably just better to end things amicably. There was a 50-year study done on spanking and its effects. I've had a boyfriend spank his children in front of me. I left the room very upset with him and cried. It was terrible. They either change or they don't. Hopefully some education on the topic may help? Can you send him the pediatric advice on spanking? Which is all super against it. Might help. Sorry, but whether or not you're in the room when he does it is kind of irrelevant. He's still hitting his kid. Partner said I'm possessed. I, F23, have been with my partner, M35, for just over a year. We moved in together a few months ago, he moved into my place. And since then I've noticed so many red flags. I've found out a lot of things he's lied about. Especially regarding his past and financial situation. Not necessarily huge lies, but still enough to break down my trust in him. He started showing a lot of controlling behavior also since we moved in together. Before we moved in together we only saw each other on weekends and basically had what I thought was a perfect relationship. Now I feel like it was just easy for him to hide his true self when we saw so little of each other. Lately I've been calling him out on all his lies and weird controlling behavior. He sat me down tonight and said he thinks I need help because I seem possessed lately, and how have I gone from a really sweet innocent girl to now possessed? Because I'm bring up my issues in the relationship and not standing for crap. I'm not sure if this is a form of gaslighting or something. Like he's trying to make out I'm the problem because I've literally pointed out that I've caught him out in lies or controlling behavior. Any advice? In his opinion, sweet innocent girl equals someone he could easily manipulate and fool. Possessed equals someone he can no longer easily manipulate and fool. Now you decide which one you are going to be. If it's possessed, be self-possessed. If he doesn't like it, he never truly liked you. He liked the way he could manipulate you. Get away from him. He likely goes after younger women because women closer in age to him would see through his bullshit. Men in their 30s love dating women in their 20s because they don't have as much life experience, and so it's a lot easier to be controlling. They can get them to conform to their ideas, etc. He's upset that you are starting to see through his bullshit too. Leave now and don't look back. Any advice? Yeah. Why on God's earth would you stay with someone who treats you like this? You clearly see all the signs. How to deal with people who are rude about my appearance. Hi. I'm 22F. Most of my life I was very overweight. Honestly, I didn't get much attention for it past middle school though. I had a decent-sized friends group in high school but lost touch with all of them after. I went to a small college and then I transferred to a bigger state college an hour away to finish out my education. While I was at the state college I got into exercising and lost 93 pounds, currently about 115,120 pounds. I have a friend whom I share an apartment with and she helped me a lot with working on a healthier diet, learning how to cook, and exercising with me. She also taught me how to do my makeup and how to dress my shape. I think I look fantastic and feel fantastic as well. I've gotten a lot more confident in myself. I also landed a job in my field and am doing well in my career. However, I went home for a little while for the holidays and I got a lot of negativity from both family members and people I used to think were my friends. All of the comments are very hurtful and I won't lie, some of them made me cry. I was very shocked about the negativity. I thought people would at least say I looked nice or healthier or something like that. I was told I look sickly or they liked me better the other way. I am leaving in a couple of days. I have to get back for work, but how do I deal with this right now? Congrats on the weight loss, it's really fucking awesome. Now I have one question about the people that insulted you. Are they overweight? 'Cause that would literally explain all of this. Some people don't like change and can't handle how different you are. I'm assuming of course that your weight is a healthy weight for you and that you're actually eating. They're jealous. It's best to cut those people out your life if they can't be happy for you without being selfish. People are jealous, just try not to let it get to you. I really hate how toxic it is when people lose weight because people view as a personal attack on them, like, oh, you must think I'm a whale or something cause you lost all this weight, and it's toxic. But hey, stay strong and props to you for getting healthy. They probably wish they were too. Crabs in a bucket. It's time to start doing the internal work to support your external changes so you can reap the benefits of your hard work. I'd start with some self-esteem worksheets if you can't access therapy.